All right. Shalom. Call hello Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Mashiach. Dawak Dawashwaka has all praise to the Most High. We do so in the name of His only begotten Son, who the inhabitants of the earth ignorantly call Jesus Christ through the Holy Ghost, right? So, today is the Sabbath according to the new moon, and the new moons that that I follow is the new moons that come in during that comes in on over the Holy Land, because I'm in America, right? Chicago, specifically in Chicago, is about like 7 to 8 hours ahead of Israel's time, right? So, and the new moon came in on the second of the evening in Jerusalem, right? So, that's January the second, right? January the 2nd, and then it falls. It fell on January the 2nd, right? So, um, and then the new moon that comes in, the next new moon that comes in, will be on I think it's Tuesday evening. So the next date that's coming up is going to be the 30th day, right? So it's going to be a transitional day, right? And then Tuesday Tuesday evening in Jerusalem will be um the new moon, right? So right now it's still the Sabbath day. I find it better to follow the Sabbath days, the new moons that comes in during that comes in on the holy Salakia, that comes in uh over the Holy Land, because every year we had to present ourselves to Jerusalem, right? So it's for the Passover, so it's better to follow their the Holy Land's time, right? New moons, evenings, rather than where we are at. So when it came in, uh, when the new moon came in on Sunday, January the 2nd, on a Sunday, right? You follow that evening to wherever comes over on the land that you're at, right? And so because if you look at Exodus 12, you look at Exodus 12, uh, and the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you, right? So where was he at when he declared these things unto him, right? He was near the Holy Land, right? He was in the area between Egypt and in Israel, right? In the wilderness. So it's better to just go off the time. It's better to go off the time over there in the Holy Land than where you at, because right now uh some brothers, they be going looking at the new moon that comes in where they are at, and the new moon came in in America on a Saturday. I think on a Saturday evening, right? Like a day ahead, right? So right. Let's look at that. right? But some brothers like that's going off the new moon. Today, the new moon will come in at the end of today, right? But evening in the Holy Land, like around was around 11 a.m. Uh, in today's time, and there was still a waning crescent, right? It was still a waning crescent, right? So that's here or there, right? Just a day apart, right? A day apart. Slovakia. So right, let's go back to you know it's the Sabbath day according to the Holy Land's daylight savings or time or whatever or however you want to phrase it. You know, so um you know I like to teach the law, teach the Torah during the Sabbath days, because during Sabbath day, Yahweh went into the temples and teach and taught the people the law, you know. And so it's a habit that I need to get into, while in the truth, right? So let's get Romans. So let's get Romans 6, right? Yeah, Romans 6. Right. Because a lot of people that subscribe to Christianity, the fake Christians, I will call them, right? That's they say because of Paul's letters, they don't have to keep, because of Galatians and Ephesians specifically, those two letters, we don't have to keep the law anymore, right? And now they just picking and choosing whatever law they wanna pick, and do what it and do that, right? They always quick to go what to Paul said, but Paul isn't the head of the church, neither is he Christ. He was the least of the apostles, right? So you see we got the group of these guys that's going to the least of the apostles to prove everything they say, and he's just one witness. He's just one witness, and that's a problem, man. You know, um, so we're gonna go to Paul's right here, right? Because in Galatians, Paul contradicting himself in Galatians and in Romans. Paul has said that um, circumcision doesn't profit you in Galatians, and he was rebuked for that in uh, Acts the 21st chapter for teaching that, and people got the wrong idea, that uh, he was trying to teach that the law don't profit you anymore, right? So and then now in Romans, but in the book of Romans, he said that uh, circumcision profited you, right? So that's a contradiction right there, right? Some people would say, but they don't understand the chronology, the timeline in which these epistles was written, these letters were written. He Galatians were for some of the first book. Galatians was some of the first letters that he written out, to the church, to the churches, and that was in Galatia, right? And he in Romans, after Paul received that rebuke in Romans, in Acts the 21st chapter, he was told to go and make a sacrifice, man. So he was showing people that he was going to keep the law, right? And you see in Romans, after he wrote Romans, after that council in Acts the 21st chapter, he's speaking a different tune now. So these are some of the stumbling blocks that brothers encounter, especially the brothers that subscribe to Christianity. These are some of the things that they stumble upon, that they fall over and trip over. You know, this is why when we be debating them, they always go on to Paul. They can't really go to Peter or to any of the other apostles, man, because Peter was an apostle that was sent out to the Jews and Jewry. to the Jews, to the three tribes, man. You know, so and it's just a whole lot of it's just a whole lot of lies being spoken of, man. Like our foundation is supposed to be what Christ said, really. So this is Romans 6:1. What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? Because this is what Christianity pretty much teaches. You know, that we under grace and we don't have to worry about the law. These guys don't even understand what grace is. You know, and they don't really understand what sin is, man. They think that God hates sin. Yeah, he hates sin, but he hates the sinner too. He hates those who sin against him. And sin is when you do something contrary to what he told you. God forbid, how shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein? So we supposed to be dead to sin. We supposed to be dead to breaking what God told us to do. We supposed to be dead to that. Know ye not that so many of us as were baptized into Yahushua Mashiach were baptized into his death? Therefore we are buried with him by baptism into death, that like as Christ was raised up from the dead by the glory of the Father, even so we also should walk in newness of life. Verse 5, for if we have been planted together in the likeness of his death, we shall be also in the likeness of his resurrection, knowing this, that our old man is crucified with him. What does that mean right there when it says that our old man? That old person, that old us, man, is dead now, right? And the new man, have a new mind, right? Thinks differently than what that old man thought. Because that old man thought about nothing but, going against the Most High and sinning and breaking his laws. But the new man thinks nothing but keeping the laws of God, right? And so we are crucified with him because our old man is dead, that the body of sin might be destroyed, that henceforth we should not serve sin, right? You see that key phrase right there, should not serve sin. And this is what Christianity teaches people to do. They teach them that it's okay to serve sin. They teach us it's okay to cut your beard. They teach us it's okay to eat pork and all these abominable things, man. They teach you it's okay to not celebrate the feast days, the high holy days of the Bible, but to celebrate Easter and Thanksgiving and Christmas and the New Year's and all this madness that they was taught in slavery, man. Right? And breaking the Sabbath days, For he that is dead is free from sin. What does that mean, that you're free from sin? You can't be free from something if you're let go of it. So you're free from sin, meaning you're no longer, when you become a new creature and you have insight, you have understanding, you're no longer doing the things that displease the Most High. You're free from sin. You're free from breaking his laws, man. Right? Now, if we be dead with Christ, we believe that we shall also live with him. Right? So, that's the point that I wanted to make. And then you go to the next chapter, Romans 7. Romans 7. Let's go to Romans 7. It is Romans 7 from the top. Know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law. Right? This is right. This is Paul is you have to understand the context of what you're reading, man. There's these letters are written to specific people in the churches, man. These letters are written to the churches, and within those churches, this is specifically written to people that he's categorizing, at the beginning of his letters. Know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law, right? So he's speaking to these guys who know the law. In Christianity, them niggas don't know the law. Some of them in their teaching is still teaching that Christ had sinned when he was walking the earth, man, which is nonsense, which is goddamn idiocy. How that the law hath dominion over a man as long as he live. For the woman which hath a husband is bound by the law to her husband so long as she liveth. But if the husband be dead, she is loosed from the law of her husband. There's a point that I want to get in this Lakia. Yeah, verse 7. Just Romans 7:7. What shall we say then? Is the law sin? God forbid. God forbid, meaning no. Nay, I had not known sin but by the law. So how can you know what sin is if you don't read the law? The law, which is the law that Moses received from the Most High. It ain't Moses' law because he didn't make up the stuff. He got it from the Most High, right? Because the children of Israel didn't want to hear the Most High speak the law to them, right? So they sent Moses up to the mount to get the rest of it. God forbid, nay, I had not known sin but by the law, for I had not known lust except the law had said thou shalt not covet. So these guys in Christianity, bro, like they enemies of Christ, bro. They can't go to Christ to prove anything they say. They can't go to Peter. They can't go to James, which is James is Peter's brother. They can't go to none of the guys of the church who had authority. They go to Paul, the least of the apostles, and and Paul was rebuked and for the stuff he was teaching in Galatians, and they don't even have any understanding of that. These guys only read Paul's letters. These people are devils, man. They can't twist Christ's words, but they'll go to Paul and twist what he said because he's a moral man. And people were stupid and gullible to believe that bullshit, man. Wearing the so-called white man's his clothing. The people all didn't wear this, man. All types of mixed fabric, in this man's suit right here, man. With wearing a goddamn tie around his neck. Just madness, man. Madness, man. These people gonna get dealt with by Christ himself, man. On his return. Right? So let's go back. Let's read that over again. What shall we say then? Is the law sin? God forbid. Nay, I had not known sin but by the law. For I had not known lust except the law has said, thou shalt not covet, right? But that's it on that. That's the point I wanted to make, man. I just wanted to I just wanted to bring that out, before I go into some of the law. So we need to know what Yahweh Shem Yahweh shall require of us, man. What Yahweh require of us, because the time is ticking, man, and these prophecies is coming to pass, World War III is brewing. It's right around the corner. It's gonna happen within this last generation's timeline, and people gonna be, caught with their pants down, right? They see all the stuff that's happening in the earth, this pandemic, man. The scriptures talks about this, and the next thing that's gonna happen is this famine, and we gonna really see if these people that believe in Christianity are really the servants of the Lord, right? So, right, what is the relationship? What is our relationship to God? Let's get that, man. Let's get some of these laws, man. This is let's go back to Exodus 20. This is Exodus 20 and 1. And And God spake all these words, saying, I am Yahweh thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage, right? So this is the Lord our God, man, who brought us out of bondage when we was in on the captivity of the Egyptians, man. The Egyptians made us build treasure cities for Ramses and those pyramids, for the Hamites, which is your Africans today, your East Africans, you know. So he brought us out of the house of bondage. He brought us out of the house of slavery, right? That's who our God is, man. So let's get Deuteronomy. Let's get Deuteronomy 6:6 and 4. This is Deuteronomy 6:4. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh our God is one, right? So there it is right there. It's even in the commandments, it's telling you that Yahweh our God is one. He's one Lord. Meaning there ain't no such thing as the Trinity, where the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost is one and co-equal, right? That ain't in the scriptures. The word Trinity ain't in the scriptures either, man. How can our people let these goddamn devils, these people who subscribe to Christianity, surmise and try to what's the word I'm looking for? They try to summarize what the Trinity is through certain scriptures, in the New Testament, man. But the book, the whole book has to flow, you know. The book don't contradict people's doctrine, contradict the Bible, man. Right? So this is a cut on Christianity right there. You know, you gotta acknowledge the unity of God, man. He is one, right? This is Deuteronomy 6:5. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul and with all thy might, man. So you gotta love the Lord with all thy mind. That's what that heart is. Your heart is your mind. With all your mind, thinking about his ways, man, which is his laws, man. Thinking about keeping his laws, thinking about not going off. And with all thy soul, with all your energy, man. With all your energy, your the soul within you, man. And with all thy might, with all your strength, man. Not giving in to the wiles of this world, the lusts of this world, man. You know, Christ wasn't on the scene teaching new stuff. He was just reiterating what Moses had taught, right, through the law of God, man. And he bind up the breaches so people don't have any excuses in that day, right? So it ain't no wiggle room for you to wiggle out of this, man. Let's drop down to verse 13. Thou shalt fear the Lord thy God and serve him and shall swear by his name, right? You know? So you have to fear Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. You have to fear Yahweh Salakia in the name of Christ, right? Well, you got to pray in the name of Christ. That's the only time you really have to say Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, because you use that when you're praying in the name of Christ. You praying to the Most High Yahweh in the name of his son Yahushua, right? And serve him and shall swear by his name, right? So I'm a what Christ has said. He said not to swear by the Most High's name at all, you know, because when niggas swear on God's name and they do evil, you know, then the Lord requires of them, you know. So this is lessons that Christ taught us so we don't get in trouble with the Lord, you know. Slack, yeah. I need to get this preset. Um, bear with me one moment. So, yeah, this is Matthew 5. Matthew 5. Matthew 5. 34. That's what I want. But I say unto you, this is Matthew 5 and 33 again. Ye have heard that it have been said by them of old time, thou shalt not forswear thyself, but shalt perform unto the Lord thine oaths. But I say unto you, swear not at all, neither by heaven, for it is God's throne, nor by the earth, for it is his footstool, neither by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great king. Neither shalt thou swear by thine head, because thou canst not make one hair white or black. But let your communication be yea, yea, nay, nay. For whatsoever is more than these cometh of evil, man. So, like, so like when you're, and that's a habit a lot of our people tend to do when they're talking amongst their buddies or whatever like that, and then they say, "On God, son, I put it on my father's kids," or like they talk like that, you know. So the Lord is saying, don't talk like that, man. You know, because that communication right there, evil can come out of that, and the Lord don't like that type of speech, you know. That's why he took his name away from a lot of us, man. You know, and now people just think that God is the Most High's name and things like that, you know, right? So I think that's it on that. So let's go back to Deuteronomy. Slakia. Let's go to Deuteronomy 11. To 13. And it shall come to pass, if ye shall hearken diligently unto my commandments, which I command you this day, to love the Lord your God, and to serve him with all your heart and with all your soul, that I will give you the rain of your land in his due season, the first rain and the latter rain, that thou mayest gather in thy corn and thy wine and thine oil, right? And these are the rewards you get when you serve God. You know, he promised his promises to always increase, you know, your wealth, right? And this is when you're in the land, you know. Verse 15, and I will send grass in thy fields for thy cattle, that thou mayest eat and be full. Verse 16, take heed to yourselves, that your heart be not deceived, and ye turn aside and serve other gods and worship them, right? And the Lord is very repetitive, and I understand why the Lord is very repetitive, because our people have such a gross heart, like and wax all in their ears. You know, this is Deuteronomy 13 and 4. Ye shall walk after Yahweh your God, and fear him, and keep his commandments, and obey his voice, and ye shall serve him, and cleave like a child cleaves to their mother or their father, right? You gotta cleave unto Yahweh your power, man, and cleave unto him, right? You gotta cleave. And let's go to Exodus. Let's go to Exodus 23. Exodus 23 25, right? And this is just uh that Deuteronomy 11 or 13, but it's the same law, right? But it's giving you more details. Exodus 23 and 25. And ye shall serve Yahweh your God, and he shall bless thy bread and thy water, and I will take sickness. I will take sickness away from the midst of thee, right? So the Lord is ready to heal, right? The brokenhearted. He's ready to heal the downtrodden. He's ready to heal the ones who've been in prison, in and out. The Lord is ready to heal all of that, you know? He's ready to heal the diseases that's in you, man. You know? So, but this is where faith come in, you know? If you will heed his word, heed the law that he teach, right? So, right, so let's go to Deuteronomy. Let's go to Deuteronomy. Let's go to Deuteronomy. What else I want? Let's go to 10 and 20. Deuteronomy 10 and 20. Thou shalt fear Yahweh thy God, him shalt thou serve, and to him shalt thou cleave, and swear by his name. You know? So I wouldn't say like you could take an oath, right? But Yahweh Shah gave us advice on that, you know, on taking oath. It's better to say yay, yay, let your yays be yay and your nays be nays. You don't have to make an oath for another nigga, you know, that you don't know what he be doing in his spare time, right? So, let's go to Deuteronomy 28. 28 and 9. Right, let's see what that say. Yahweh shall establish thee in holy people unto himself, right? So the Lord is separate is taking you and is separating you from other people, man. That's what it means to be holy. You're separate. You're separate, right? As he has sworn unto thee. So these are promises that the Lord has sworn, you know, unto the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. If thou shalt keep the commandments of Yahweh thy God and walk in his ways, man, and you walk in his ways, man. The Lord is showing you his ways, like how he will be conducting himself while he's on the earth, you know. He's telling you through the first 5 books, man. It's simple. This is let's get Leviticus 22 and 32. Leviticus 22 and 32. Neither shall ye profane my holy name, right? So you ain't supposed to profane the Lord's holy name, you know? This is why people don't even know the Most High's name now. Because of how filthy, you know, people's mouths can be at certain times, you know? And even Christ's name, you know? You hear some of the rhetoric people be using, you know? Talking about Salakia, what they be saying, you know, the terms when they be making, and then they be saying, "Oh Jesus Christ," you know, afterwards. I can't give you an example, show you. Matter of fact, I might as well show. Bear with me one moment. I'm gonna give you an example that I had heard. When I was watching this yesterday, bro. Like things like this. It's lock, yeah. This was before they went in there and started killing all those people. No, that's too far. Damn it. Bear with me one moment. Right, you see that? You heard what he said right there? I should rewind that again. You see, these are the type of things that the Lord took his names away for, because people be making term and slanders things like that. You heard? I'm a. You see, I'm fucking chill, dude. Jesus, relax, right? Come on, bro. Like, you can't be making, like, you, Jake. You can't be making um saying things like that, man. You know, that's why the Lord took his holy name away from us, man. And then through studying and repetitive keeping of the laws, you know, and through his servants, we were able to gain back that his name, you know. So I think that's the point that I wanted to make. I'm a Leviticus 22:32. Neither shall ye profane my holy name, just like that dude profaned Christ's name, right? But I will be hallowed among the children of Israel, right? The Lord wants to be hallowed among Yahweh Slakia. The Lord wants to be hallowed amongst the children of Israel, right? He wants to be hallowed among Yahshua. Not saying things like that other dude has said in that video, man. I am Yahweh which hallow you. So I want to get into more stuff. There's a few more laws that I want to go over that I haven't touched on yet. What was it? Social. That's the community. Yeah, this is these laws that I haven't gone over yet. This is Leviticus 6, Leviticus 6 and 4. Then it shall be, because he hath sinned and is guilty, that he shall restore that which he took violently away, or the thing which he hath deceitfully gotten, or that which was delivered him to keep, or the lost thing which he found, right? And this is on a robber to restore the stolen article, right? Or anything that was stolen to its owner, right? So we didn't put people to death in the Holy Land that stole from other people, you know. Stealing isn't a sin worthy of death, so to speak. You know? So this is the law that's going to be this is the judgment that's going to happen to those who stole. They have to give back what was stolen, right? And then some. This is Deuteronomy 15 and 8. But thou shalt open thy hand wide unto him, and shalt surely lend him sufficient for his need in that which he wanteth, right? Salakia, let's go up to verse 7. If there be among you a poor man of one of thy brethren within any of thy gates in thy land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not harden thine heart, nor shut thine hand from thy poor brother, but thou shalt open thy hand wide unto him, and shalt surely lend him sufficient for his need in that which he wanteth, right? So the Lord don't, like, if you see a poor brother in the land, right, don't be a grouch and don't give him anything. You're supposed to give him things that he need sufficient for his need, whether it be, you know, something to eat, right, some clothing, right? shit, if you can give the brother a house and some land and some cattle, man, and then he'll be straight, man. Right? The Lord will give that stuff back to you, in due season, you know. And you see the Jews in jewelry, there was a lot of them in Judea that was rich, man, but they still had a whole lot of poor men walking around, man. Breaking these laws, man. There's a law literally in the Torah that you have to give to the poor man, and people, the Jews in Jewry wasn't doing a good job keeping this law, man. Why? Because the leaders, in Judea during those times, man, were wicked men. And care nothing but their own righteousness, man. They care nothing but themselves, man. When this is a family thing, a house thing, man, in-house thing, man. You supposed to be taking care of each other, man. So, and these are things that they learned from the heathen, man, and it seeped into Israel, man. We just been having bad leaders after bad leaders after bad leaders, man, over and over and over again, So, the Lord is really trying us now, man, to see who is going to be great judges and great governors, for his kingdom, What else I want to go? Let's drop down to 14. Verse 12, if thy brother in Hebrew man or in Hebrew woman be sold unto thee and serve thee 6 years, then in the 7th year thou shalt let him go free from thee. And when thou sendest him out free from thee, thou shalt not let him go away empty. Thou shalt furnish him liberty out of thy flock, and out of thy floor, and out of thy winepress, of that wherein Slakia, of that wherewith the Lord Yahweh thy God hath blessed thee, thou shalt give unto him. So you gotta give Hebrew slave men or Hebrew bondmen, upon his freedom. This is indentured servants, so to speak. That's the terminology, I guess. So let's go to Exodus 22 and 25. If thou lend money to any of my people that is poor by thee, thou shalt not be to him as an usurer, neither shalt thou lay upon him usury, man. So you ain't supposed to be a usurer or lay upon him usury, man. Meaning you're scamming him or you're getting up over him, man. Right? You ain't supposed to be using each other, right? You ain't supposed to be taking interest rates, from your own people. You don't see the so-called Jewish man doing that. So why did he do it? If thou at all take thy neighbor's raiment to pledge, thou shalt deliver it unto him by that the sun goeth down. For that is his covering only, it is his raiment for his skin, wherein shall he sleep. And it shall come to pass when he crieth unto me, that I will hear, for I am gracious. Thou shalt not revile the gods, nor curse the ruler of thy people. That's going into the people that's ruling over you. Because the people, your judges, right? Your judges are gods unto you, right? And not nor curse the ruler of thy people, nor your king, So, this is, but I wanted to get, let's go to the next chapter. To precept, hold on, that's not it. To precept, Exodus 22 and 25. Let's get Deuteronomy 23 and 20. Because our people flee from the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. They flee from the words of this Bible because they don't want no dealings with it. So in that day, when they cry unto God, when they going through trouble, man, then God won't hear. That it is what it is, man. Hey, right there it is. Deuteronomy 23 and 20 to precept Exodus 25 and 22 and 25, Slakia. Until a stranger thou mayest lend upon usury. So you can use the strangers, man. Like, charge them as much interest as you possibly can, man. They strangers. The heathens, right? But unto thy brethren thou shalt not lend upon usury, that Yahweh thy God may bless thee in all that thou mayest set thy hand to in settest thy hand to in the land, whether thou goest to possess it, man. Right? So charge the heathen, interest, right, man, but not your brother, man. Right? You charge the foreigner, man. I'm gonna get a few more. Deuteronomy 24 and 13. In any case, thou shalt deliver him the pledge again when the sun goeth down, that he may sleep in his own raiment, and bless thee, and it shall be righteousness unto thee before Yahweh thy God. Right? It's talking about restoring a pledge to his owner if he needs it. Right? Let's go verse 15. As in verse 14, thou shalt not oppress an hired servant that is poor and needy, whether he be of thy brethren or of thy strangers that are in the land within thy gates. So you can't oppress an hired servant that is poor and needy, At his day thou shalt give him his hire, neither shall the sun go down upon it, for he is poor and setteth his heart upon it, lest he cry against thee unto Yahweh, and it be sin unto thee. Right? So you gotta pay, pay that servant his wages, on time, man. Throughout every day, man, because he's poor, he need it. And if he cry unto the Lord, he cry unto Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, then it's gonna be sin unto you, man. So let's get a few more. Let's go back a chapter. Deuteronomy 23 and 24. When thou comest into thy neighbor's vineyard, then thou mayest eat grapes. When thou comest into thy neighbor's vineyard, then thou mayest eat grapes, thy fill at thine own pleasure, but thou shalt not put any in thy vessel. Right? So if you go into your neighbor's vineyard, man, you can eat the grapes that are in it, right? But you can't pluck it and put it into a bag and carry it away with you. You can't do that, because this is a fail proof. Because if the Lord only said, when thou comest into thy neighbor's vineyard, then thou mayest eat grapes to thy fill at thy own pleasure, they'll take that and start going into neighbors' vineyards and taking all the grapes and leaving. So to prevent that, the Lord said that you can't put any of that into your bags. When your vessel is just a bag or like a purse or something like to that effect. Or no, I'm gonna just say bag. So so you're allowed to go into your neighbor's vineyard and eat grapes or or fruit or any of that matter, right? So with that, let's go. Let me get a few more. Uh Man, this is 613 laws, man. Like, and this is good for our sake, man. This is Deuteronomy 22 from the top. Thou shalt not see thy brother's ox or his sheep go astray, and hide thyself from them. Thou shalt in any case bring them again unto thy brother, right? So you got to return lost property unto its owner. When you see your brother's cattle or your brother's ox go astray, then bring it back to that neighbor, right? Don't be a nigga just because that property is lost that you take it in as your own. No, the Lord sees all that, man. You know, and it's counted a sin unto you. This is Leviticus 19:17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. Right. So you gotta. It's in the law. You're required to reprove a sinner. You gotta tell him what he's doing wrong. You know, tell him that he's going off and sinning against the Most High. If you don't, then that's sin unto you. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am Yahweh. These are the same principles that Christ was teaching, man, in the so-called New Testament, man. It's just a reiteration, you know. It's just a re-explanation of it, or more explanations of the law, you know. Leviticus 19:18. Oh yeah, I already, yeah. Let's read that again, man. It's beautiful. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, man, because you have to understand that the Lord is a racist, man. From Genesis to Revelation, man, he's only been dealing with one bloodline of people, one family of people, man. So the Lord is a racist, man. He only cares about the children of Israel, you Israelites, from front to back. You know, this is your book. This is your heritage. This is your customs, your cultures. This is your power. This is your God. You know, I am Yahweh. That's what Yahweh said, man. So, so with that, I wanna read something. Revelation, Slakia. I'm looking for a verse. So let's go to Revelation. Let's end off of Revelation 14 and 12. Right. Here is the patience of the saints. And who are the saints? The saints, it tells you if you read the Psalms 50 and verse 5. I'll read from the top. The mighty God, even Yahweh, have spoken and called the earth from the rising of the sun unto the going down thereof. Out of Zion, the perfection of beauty, God hath shined. Our God shall come, and shall not keep silent. A fire shall devour before him, and it shall be very tempestuous round about him. He shall call to the heavens from above, and to the earth, that he may judge his people, Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. All praise to Yah Bashem Yahushua, man. It tells you right there, man, the saints that you read about in the New Testament, those saints are the Israelites. Those who have made a covenant with the Most High by sacrifice, right? That's who the Lord is coming back to redeem, the remnant of the people of the children of Israel who have the faith and the works, man, keeping the laws and enduring until the end. You know, so let's go back to Revelations 14 and 12, right? Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Yahushua, right? So it's two. You need two things. You just can't have faith alone. You just can't have the belief alone. You just can't have the commandments alone, right? You need both. You need them both. They go hand in hand with each other, man. You need these two requirements to get salvation, to get saved, man. Right? So I guess that's it with that, right? I mean, there's so many other scriptures that I can get, man, but it's just redundant at this point. So with that, I want to say, Call Halal, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Hamashiach, Darak Atawasraka, Wa Baba Babal, Shalom.